my sister's wedding, I found my seat outside next to the trash cans. She smirked. Guess you don't count. I took my gift, stood up, and walked out without a word. Minutes later, she went pale and screamed. The hallway smelled like lilies and bleach. Inside, the DJ was counting down to the first dance. My mother adjusted her pearls. My father looked away. I stared at the folding chair by the service doors, my assigned seat. Through the glass, I could see the entire ballroom, every chandelier, every smile. The wall between us wasn't metaphorical. Growing up, we were the cliché, golden child and invisible daughter. Laya had trophies. I had report cards no one read. 3 years ago, I found Mom's journal in her vanity. Every page began with Laya's first, not one mention of my name. When I asked why, she smiled. You never needed the attention, honey. That's when I learned there's a difference between being forgotten and being erased. Today, the coordinator found my name on her clipboard. Hallway seating, she said, not meeting my eyes. From my folding chair, I watched Laya pose in white. Then she walked toward me, bouquet in hand. Looks like they finally figured out where you belong, she said. Guess you don't count. The words landed soft, sharp. Behind her, the photographer called for her. She wanted me to cry, to beg. I didn't. There's always been space for both of us, I said quietly. You're the one who keeps shrinking it. Her mask slipped for half a second. Then she turned. Nobody needs your approval. Not here. Not ever. I picked up the silver gift I'd wrapped the night before, slid it into my bag. 3 weeks earlier, I'd run into her old coworker in Boston. Over lunch, she confessed. Laya had been bragging for months. He's sweet, but naive. A few fake tears, and I get the house, the money, the last name. I hadn't planned to use that information until today. Before leaving, I walked to the gift table. The planner was distracted. I slid the silver box on top of the pile. Inside, a crystal frame, a note, and printed screenshots. Not a threat, just the truth. Then I left. The Vermont air hit me cold and clean. I didn't look back. Inside, they opened gifts for photos. Someone said, let's have them open one. Laya unwrapped the silver box, lifted the note. Her hand froze. Noah leaned over. His eyes caught the screenshots, text bubbles in pale blue. He's so easy to handle. Cry a little and he buys anything I want. The music thinned. The violinist missed a beat. Page after page. Jokes about the prenup. Plans to move her parents into his guest house. Who sent this? Laya hissed. Victoria, Noah's mother, crossed the floor. These came to me this morning. Forwarded from a stylist you hired. Wrong thread. Laya's face drained. That's not possible. Noah's voice was low. The dates match, Laya. A collective gasp. Phones came out. You can't show people that. Laya lunged. Victoria stepped between them. You showed it yourself, sweetheart. That's when the screaming started. My sister did this. Laya's voice cracked. She's jealous. Stop. Noah's word cut the room. You humiliated her today. You thought no one would see who you really are? He pulled a folded document from his jacket. Annulment petition. Already signed. Laya stared. You can't humiliate me like this. You did that yourself. The music stopped entirely. Crystal shattered as the frame hit the floor. My father spoke quietly for the first time all night. You should apologize to your sister. Laya laughed. Brittle. Broken. She's not even family. Dad shook his head. That's where you're wrong. Outside, I'd stopped by my car. The scream echoed across the lake. Sharp, high, followed by a chair tipping. The sound I'd waited my whole life to hear. Not out of cruelty. Closure. Justice doesn't always roar. Sometimes it whispers, now they see you. By the time I reached Boston, the sky was gray. My phone buzzed nonstop. I didn't check. The quiet was worth more than explanations. At my sister's wedding, I was seated by the trash cans. This morning, I'm sitting by the river. Same silence, different meaning. Back then, it was humiliation. Now it's peace. Sometimes the loudest revenge isn't a scream. It's the sound of your own footsteps leaving the room.